Hello viewers, welcome to SLG Hello Doctor. Hope you have subscribed to our channel and are watching our videos regularly. Today, we are in conversation with Dr. Bhargav Ilapakurti, consultant laser and head and neck surgeon at SLG Hospitals. Welcome, doctor.
Namaste.
It's good to have you on SLG Hello Doctor.
Thank you.
We'll be talking to Dr. Bhargav about head and neck cancers in particular. What causes them? Are they aggressive? How do we recognize them? And how do we treat them? Shall we start, Dr. Bhargav?
Sure.
Which cancers can be classified as head and neck cancers? And what are the most common ones?
There are multiple types of cancers that originate from different organs and in a different variety in the whole body. But the cancers which specifically originate in the head and neck regions apart from brain are classified into head and neck. The regions to name are like the oral cancers, the mouth cancers, the throat cancers, the cancers which are arising from any salivary glands, or the cancers arising from the thyroid, as well as the cancers which have metastasized from other body to the neck can also be called to the head and neck cancers. And to answer the second question, the most common cancers in the head and neck are from oral cancers, oral cavity, and the cancers which are caused because of tobacco are the most common cancers which arise in head and neck region.
Thank you, doctor. So what are the warning signs or symptoms that one should look out for?
Primarily, the cancers originating in different parts of head and neck will cause different signs. Like, for example, if the cancers which are arising from the tongue will give you signs like bleeding during brushing or while eating, they rarely cause pain. There will be swelling in the tongue. Or if the cancer is arising from any part in the cheek region or the teeth or the floor of the mouth region, you will have loosening of the teeth or blood while you are brushing or spitting your saliva, and you will have that metallic taste of the blood which comes out of it. Sometimes the cancers which arise in the nose or behind the nose will spread into neck and cause big lumps in your neck. Or if the cancers arising from the throat will cause primarily difficulty in swallowing, especially for the foods in the initial part, and in the later part it may lead to difficulty in both swallowing of liquids as well as water. If the same kind of cancers come in larynx, that is your voice box where the voice is produced, definitely it will start with change of the voice. So this is some of the other various methods by which cancers in the head and neck present.
Doctor, are head and neck cancers aggressive and are they curable?
Most of the head and neck cancers are squamous cell carcinoma cancers, apart from thyroid malignancies and salivary gland malignancies. Squamous cell carcinoma is a comparatively a good tumor to treat if a proper treatment is taken and at a proper time and a complete treatment is taken. They are properly curable, unlike some of the other aggressive cancers in the rest of the body. Comparatively, thyroid cancers are little less aggressive comparatively to the other squamous cell carcinomas, except for a few variants. Most of the salivary gland tumors are also not that aggressive. If treated properly in time, they will be curable. Coming to the curable rates and curativeness of the disease is primarily dependent upon two factors. First thing is the stage of the disease. The advanced stage of the disease will have a comparatively less curative but compared to the lower stage of the disease. And the second thing is primarily a patient dependent curative, because a patient should be able to tolerate our complete range of treatment, that is the surgery followed by radiotherapy, if required chemotherapy in advanced stages. But most of the tumors are curable in head and neck cancers.
Doctor, most of us think that cancers are somewhat hereditary. Are head and neck cancers also hereditary to a certain extent?
Most of the head and neck cancers are because of the external factors, that is the squamous cell carcinomas because of external factors like tobacco. But some cancers are hereditary, especially carcinomas in the thyroid like medullary carcinoma of thyroid have a component of hereditariness in them. Apart from this, some other cancers of adenocarcinomas also have this kind of hereditariness in some parts, but not all cancers are hereditary per se.
Doctor, now that we have just spoken about heredity and maybe even tobacco chewing as probable reasons to contract head or neck cancer, can you tell us what are the causes of head and neck cancer? Can you elaborate on?
Primary reason of cancer in head and neck region is tobacco. See, tobacco can be again classified into three things: tobacco smoking, tobacco chewing, and there is one thing called reverse smoking or tobacco related products like pan and gutka and betel nut squids, especially in low socioeconomic people who have these kinds of habit, is one of the primary causes of causing cancer in head and neck region, especially linked to all the aerodigestive tract, that is the mouth, the throat, the esophagus, that is the food pipe, and the stomach. These are the things or the organs which are primarily exposed to this tobacco. The other things which we need to answer is the alcohol will act as a accelerator, or it will act along with the tobacco and increase the rate of production of cancer. That is, if only a tobacco is taken per se, just for example, let us say to 25% there is a risk factor. But if it is associated with alcohol, the risk factor doubles to almost 50% of causing any head and neck cancer, either in throat or mouth or esophagus or stomach also. As well as tobacco has many other systemic diseases which is associated with it, especially like cardiac problem, hypertension and diabetes. So tobacco is one of the primary culprit. Apart from it, there are certain number of people like with specific job problems, like who work in tin factory or woodworkers. They are particularly susceptible for cancers in the nose. Apart from this, I think not much are having any other problem, but tobacco and smoking is very important to avoid, and to not only from cancer, from many other diseases also.
Doctor, we hear a lot about lymph nodes and cancer of the lymph nodes. So how does one know that one has a cancer of lymph node?
The lymph nodes are the common structures which are present in the neck, which are helpful to drain the waste products that are present or produced around the places where they are present. Like there are some lymph nodes in the upper part of the neck, middle neck and lower neck. Like they drain all the bacteria or any other old parts or any other dead tissue, and they will be collected via lymph and they drain into the specific levels of the lymph nodes. Generally, the cancer acquires this pathway to spread. There are three types of pathways. One is via blood, one is direct spread of cancer, and third is via lymphatic. They will spread to the other parts of the body. So the spread of the cancer will be present into the lymph nodes. When they present inside the lymph nodes, they grow extremely large and they are generally painless unless they affect some of the nerves present around the lymph nodes. Apart from these, the other cancers which are present in the body, in the other parts of the body, like per se in the lung or per se in the stomach or per se in the prostate or kidney, they can travel upward from the other part of the body and they can lodge and come into the neck. So when a patient has a lymph node, definitely we should thoroughly examine him as well as take out the biopsy from it and send it to know from where the tissue of the cancer has come from. Based on that, we can reverse engineer or we can go back and investigate the other part of the body from where the metastasis had come, and thereby treat both the lymph nodes of the neck as well as the primary cancer from where it has originated.
Doctor, a couple of questions ago, you mentioned that thyroid cancer has hereditary factors. So can you elaborate on that for us, please?
Thyroid is a butterfly shaped gland which is present in the neck for everyone. The secretion of thyroid is called as thyroxine hormone, which is very essential in all age groups for both men as well as women, because in children it helps in their growth and all the normal bodily functions. In the adults, it is a hormone which stabilizes your body, like your cardiac rate or heart rate or your blood pressure or all the other bodily functions like your brain functions. They're all required for the normal functioning of the organs. Thyroid hormone is required. It also regulates the calcium metabolism in our body. Generally, the thyroid hormone, for this to be produced, iodine is very much required. And you know, India has a little bit of iodine deficiency problem in India, especially in women. So generally you can see in thyroid, there are trends of thyromegaly, that is increase in the size of the thyroid gland, especially in the women. Pan India, in whole India, this is not just limited to one area or one part of the country. That is the reason why iodized thyroid salts are being marketed and being promoted by the government. So if in case these thyroid growths or the thyromegaly or the thyroid nodules are left like that without being treated for a prolonged kind of a time, there are incidents of forming thyroid cancers in them. Especially, like I said earlier, women generally do tend to have this thyromegaly. So women are again in the susceptible group who has these thyroid malignancies. It's not just that the women, even men and children also do get it. But on a special note to say, the thyroid malignancies are little bit less aggressive compared to other kinds of treatment, and when they are treated properly, a complete cure can be given to thyroid cancers. The important thing to be considered in thyroid cancer is the early presentation will lead to a better surgery both on the part of surgeon as well as on the part of the patient. The signs and symptoms will be generally they are silently growing, slowly growing tumors inside the thyroid gland. They will present with the swelling of the thyroid gland and simple with or without the symptoms of over or underproduction of the thyroid hormone. If you notice a swelling which is in front of the neck, that is here in the midline, which moves while you are swallowing water or solid foods, that is point number 1, or a swelling which is also associated with a new neck node which is formed on the side of the neck is generally a common presentation in thyroid cancers. So once you have these kind of problems, you need to visit a doctor. And the other important points are, if at all you have neglected it for some period of time, and now after some period of time there is change of voice, or you are feeling difficulty in breathing, or prolonged cough even which is not subsiding on common cough medications, should definitely raise suspicion that there may be a change or a cancer in thyroid, which has to be evaluated thoroughly and be treated. As I mentioned earlier, I am repeating it, thyroid cancer has a very good prognosis if caught early and treated completely and properly.
Let's take a short break now and be back in a few minutes.
ప్రపంచ స్థాయి మల్టీ సూపర్ స్పెషాలిటీ హాస్పిటల్ SLG హాస్పిటల్స్. ప్రముఖ సామాజికవేత్త, సంఘ సంస్కర్త శ్రీ దండు శివరామరాజు, చైర్మన్ అండ్ మేనేజింగ్ డైరెక్టర్, మరియు శ్రీ DVS సోమరాజు, ఎగ్జిక్యూటివ్ డైరెక్టర్ గారిచే స్థాపించబడిన SLG హాస్పిటల్స్
4 ఎకరాల సువిశాల ప్రాంగణంలో 999 బెడ్ల సౌకర్యంతో, గ్లోబల్ JCI అండ్ NABH ప్రమాణాలతో, అనుభవజ్ఞులైన వైద్య నిపుణులతో అత్యంత క్లిష్టమైన గుండె సమస్యలకు శస్త్రచికిత్సలు చేయబడును.
మెదడు మరియు నరాల సంబంధిత సమస్యలకు మొట్టమొదటిగా న్యూరో నావిగేషన్ టెక్నాలజీతో చికిత్స.
క్యాన్సర్ చికిత్స కోసం లీనాక్ వంటి అత్యాధునిక వైద్య పరికరాలతో చికిత్స.
కీళ్ల నొప్పులు, ఎముకలకు సంబంధించిన సమస్యలకు మరియు జీర్ణకోశ సంబంధిత వ్యాధులకు మెరుగైన వైద్యం అందించబడును.
20 అత్యాధునిక ఆపరేషన్ థియేటర్లు, 200 ICU బెడ్స్, అత్యాధునిక డయాలసిస్ సదుపాయం కలదు.
24 గంటలు ఎమర్జెన్సీ, డయాగ్నోస్టిక్, ఫార్మసీ సేవలు.
3 టెస్ట్ల MRI, CT స్కాన్ వంటి అత్యాధునిక వైద్య పరికరాలతో మరింత మెరుగైన సంరక్షణకు మీ ఎంపిక SLG హాస్పిటల్స్, నిజాంపేట్ రోడ్, బాచుపల్లి, హైదరాబాద్.
సెల్ నంబర్స్ 9133395500.
ఫోన్ నంబర్స్ 914023785678 మరియు 48525678.
టోల్ ఫ్రీ నంబర్ 1800599220.
ఎమర్జెన్సీ 7799235678.
ఆంధ్ర ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ సదుపాయం కూడా కలదు.
Welcome back to SLG Hello Doctor. We are in conversation with Dr. Bhargav Ilapakurti, consultant laser head and neck cancer surgeon at SLG Hospitals, Hyderabad. Doctor, where does India stand in head and neck cancer treatment modalities?
In India, there are really good advances and really good treating modalities to treat cancers in India as well as in SLG and Hyderabad also. You can generally classify the treatment into two parts. One, we can treat it with precancerous lesions as well as cancerous lesions. The precancerous lesions have very well treated with the help of laser excision, which are present either in the mouth or throat or in the voice box, and minimal treatment will definitely suffice the complete removal of the precancerous lesion, as well as we can prevent the further occurrences of it. Coming to the proper treatment of cancer, there are multiple modalities of treatment depending upon again multiple factors. Those are the patient factors, the disease factors. So the patient factors includes how fit is the patient, how good is the patient to take up the treatment completely or to finish the treatment completely. The second thing is the disease factor, like how big is the tumor, how large is it affecting or how large is it to impose or cause damage to the adjacent structures like bones or other blood vessels, or how far it has invaded or how deep it has gone, or the other fact is how far it has metastasized, like has it gone only to the neck or has it gone into the lung or bone or kidney or some other organ, has it spread or into the brain. So based on all these factors, we will then form a tailor-made treatment to each and every one of the patient. It's not that one patient and one solution is the answer for all the patients. No. Depending upon the stage and the advances of the disease, every patient is treated individually. Coming to my specialty, that is, I am from the head and neck surgeon. So coming to the surgical specialty, most of the advanced cases or in the early cases are treated with the help of surgery. And in the advanced cases, most of them should undergo surgery as well as radiotherapy as a combined modality to get a complete cure of the disease. So like you may be wondering, so doctor, what if we have some kind of a tongue cancer, of a mouth cancer or floor of the mouth cancer or a throat cancer? What are the options I have and what are you going to do to it? So coming to the mouth cancers and throat cancers as a separate entity, coming to the mouth cancers, generally in mouth cancers, we have a dictum of two things. One, they remove the cancer in total or in its entirety. So whatever structures are involved by the cancer has to be removed. Like in case of a lip, we will remove the lip. In case of the bone, we will remove the part of the bone. Or in case of the tongue, we will remove a part of the tongue. And as well as along with this, if it has come to the neck, we should definitely remove all the nodes which are present to it or the suspicious nodes which are present in it. So doctor, you might ask, if we take out these parts, how are we going to chew or how are we going to rehabilitate the person once the surgery is over? Like I mentioned earlier, we operate with a dictum of thinking that we have to replace the like with the like. Like if you are taking out a part of the bone or a mandible, the mouth cancer of the mouth, then we will take a part of the bone in the leg and we will reconstruct in the shape of the bone of the jaw, so that once the surgery is done, patient will again be able to eat with the mouth, will be chew with the mouth and then swallow. The same thing we will do with the tongue cancers, like we will take a part of the forearm, only the skin part of it, and we will make it in the shape of the tongue and we will attach to the tongue, so that once operation is done and all the treatment has been completed, the patient will again take the food via mouth and will be able to speak again. The same thing applies to the throat also. Like if we take out the larynx or laryngectomy if we do, or in the case of hypopharynx, we will do hypopharyngectomy. We will try to close it with a stoma and prosthesis called voice prosthesis, which we will implant in the throat of the patient at the time of surgery. So once the surgery is over, we can be able to rehabilitate him and make him able to speak. The same thing occurs to other parts of the head and neck also, like throat or behind the nose or parts of the neck.
So doctor, all that talk about reconstruction has made people like me, I'm sure, like the viewers also, very hopeful. Can you leave us with suggestions or lifestyle modification tips that will help prevent head and neck cancers? Not of course if they are hereditary, but otherwise.
The most important part in head and neck cancer prevention is primarily the quitting of tobacco as well as alcohol. There is no problem even although if you're addict or previously taken something, right now you can quit, and there are multiple modalities or ways where rehabilitative centers where you can go, and there are multiple ways to quit the tobacco. May not be immediately, but gradually and slowly you can quit it, and that will definitely give you a better outcomes compared to having a cancer and treating them and having cure out of it. The other important thing is to have a regular checkup of head and neck with a ENT consultant or a head and neck consultant like me. We will generally do an endoscopic and complete examination, and in case of thyroid cancers or thyroidmegalies which can be detected accidentally, can give an excellent outcome in those people who are detected earlier or in the earlier stages of the disease. Or any pre-malignant lesions can also be easily detected in these endoscopic checkups by the ENT surgeon. These pre-malignant lesions, once they are treated properly, there is 99% sure that they may not recover once the habits of tobacco and alcohol are stopped and proper treatment is taken with the help of the surgeon. So with those words, I think those answers my question.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bhargav, for joining us here on SLG Hello Doctor. We loved having you with us.
Thank you so much, my pleasure.
Thank you for joining us on SLG Hello Doctor. We'll be back with you in another fortnight with yet another interesting topic. Until then, stay safe, stay healthy, don't forget to mask up, sanitize, and maintain social distancing. Namaste. Hope you've hit the bell icon and are following all that's happening on SLG Hello Doctor. If not, do it right away.